America awoke on November 7, 2024, to a political earthquake. Donald J. Trump, defying pollsters and pundits, had reclaimed the presidency. The victory was decisive, a repudiation of the Biden-Harris administration. Trump's path to victory ran through the heartland, flipping key states that had eluded him in 2020. The result sent shockwaves through the nation and the world. The mainstream media, caught flat-footed once again, scrambled to explain the outcome. Pundits who had confidently predicted a Biden victory were left speechless. The Republican Party, meanwhile, was energized. Trump's victory was a vindication of their decision to stand by him, despite his many controversies. The weight of defeat fell heavily on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Biden, visibly aged by the rigors of the campaign, addressed the nation with a mixture of disappointment and defiance. He acknowledged the results but vowed to continue fighting for his vision of America. Harris, her own presidential aspirations dashed, struck a similar tone in her concession speech. She thanked her supporters and urged them to remain engaged in the fight for progressive values. The Biden-Harris administration, in its final days, pledged to ensure a smooth transition of power. They would leave behind a legacy of progress, they argued, pointing to their achievements on healthcare, climate change, and social justice. The Democrats had lost the White House and with it the ability to shape the direction of the country. But amidst the disappointment, there was also a glimmer of hope. One of the most surprising developments of the 2024 election was the dramatic shift of Catholic voters towards Donald Trump. Once considered a reliable Democratic voting bloc, Catholics swung decisively towards the Republican candidate, providing the margin of victory in several key states. This shift, analysts argued, reflected a growing disconnect between the Democratic Party and working-class Catholics on issues such as abortion, religious liberty, and traditional family values. Trump, despite his personal flaws, was seen as a more reliable defender of their beliefs. The implications of the Catholic shift were profound. The Catholic vote, once a Democratic stronghold, was now up for grabs, and both parties were vying for its allegiance. The political establishment, stunned by Trump's victory, struggled to come to terms with the new reality. Democrats, reeling from their defeat, called for introspection and a reassessment of their message. Some urged the party to move further to the left, embracing progressive policies that would energize the base. Others argued for a more centrist approach, focusing on issues that resonated with working-class voters. Republicans, emboldened by their victory, vowed to push ahead with their conservative agenda. They promised tax cuts, deregulation, and a crackdown on illegal immigration. Former President Barack Obama, in a rare public statement, expressed concern about the state of American democracy. The country remained deeply polarized, with little appetite for compromise. Kamala Harris, in her concession speech, acknowledged the pain of defeat but urged her supporters to remain hopeful. She spoke of the progress that had been made, particularly for women and minorities, and vowed to continue fighting for a more just and equitable society. Harris's future, once seemingly destined for the Oval Office, now seemed uncertain. Some speculated that she would run for president again in 2028, seeking to finish what she had started. Others believed that she would focus on her role as a senator, using her platform to advocate for progressive causes. Whatever path she chose, one thing was certain: Kamala Harris would remain a force to be reckoned with in American politics. The Democratic Party, now facing a crossroads, had to decide how to move forward. The dust has settled on the 2024 election, but the aftershocks continue to reverberate. Donald Trump's victory, against all odds, exposed the deep fissures running through American society. It was a victory fueled by anger, frustration, and a yearning for a return to a bygone era. The election results painted a stark picture of a nation divided: urban versus rural, coastal versus heartland, liberal versus conservative. The fault lines were impossible to ignore. Trump's populist message, however divisive, resonated with voters who felt left behind by globalization and ignored by the political elite. The 2024 election was a wake-up call, a stark reminder that democracy is a fragile thing. They demand dialogue, compromise, and a shared commitment to the common good.